So like me and Charles the other day in the swimming pool, we forced ourselves to do tumble turns.
He'll love it.
And it was the slowest one we've done for ages, but I know he'll hate me for saying this now, but Chris, you were crap at them.
He'll love you for talking about this. Welcome to this episode of
the Full Distance Podcast.
Well done.
Thank you. It's very quiet again.
It is very quiet. It's a bit strange tonight.
No friends.
No guests. Just me and you.
Yeah. It's very lonely.
Depths of winter. It is a bit weird, isn't it?
We're on the run up to Christmas, so
we are.
Time's passing by quite quickly, but we're the shortest day tomorrow, so the nights.
I know.
We'll
start. By Friday nights, we'll be pulling out.
Yeah.
So we'll be back out on your bike.
Yep.
Yeah.
So tonight, what did we say? Did we say we're going to do a bit of a recap?
Yeah, we just thought we'd have a little recap, didn't we, of 2023? Because obviously when this podcast started, it was more or less the first one came out nearly halfway through the year, so obviously stuff happened before that. We're not going to go into detail on everything, but you thought we would pick out our
top 5, because I can't narrow it down to 3.
You said pick your top 3 races of 2023.
Yeah,
you said.
it's not happening.
So I have, and now you've got 5.
Yeah.
All right, well, we'll go with that then. You can have 5, I'll have 3.
I'm sure you'll be able to add 2 more in.
I might be able to add another 1, yeah, maybe.
But no, I think it'd be a good idea as well, just to go through what is your biggest achievement of the year, or what is our biggest achievements of the year.
Yeah, good idea.
What we've learnt the most.
Yeah.
What we're taking from this year into next year, because obviously constantly learning and what we're doing. And give the readers a few...
Readers?
Or listeners.
Yeah,
watchers
or listeners, but not readers, I don't think.
A few top tips for training through winter.
Good idea.
And how...
To keep motivated, probably.
To keep motivated.
Yeah, because it is a tough time, isn't it, for training? You don't feel like it. You get home from work, it's dark and not very nice. You don't want to train.
So I think if we can go through a few things of what we do or how we try and get through that and help other people.
Because while it is nice at the end of the season, although it's the first time I've experienced it, it is nice to back off a bit, take it easy. You've still got to keep ticking over and doing something. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, you just lose that drive and,
Yeah, but I think that's the sport thing. I think that it's that drug of doing exercise that you know how it makes you feel. It makes you feel better.
You do.
So, but you obviously need to let your body recover.
Exactly.
And mentally recover from. Have you chosen as your top 5 races of 2023?
Well, I've actually, as I was going back to what we said 2 minutes ago, I only chose 3 because you said 3. So I've chosen 3. But I will sneak another one in. So the first one, it's not my top race of the year, it's just the one that happened first in the year. So the first one was from March.
Your first one, but not your A race.
It's not my A race, but it's just the first one on the calendar that we come to as we're going through the year chronologically. So my first one was in March, and it was North Links Half Marathon. My first proper road half marathon, because I did Grisdale with you in February, where we just scraped under 2 hours. Well, you kindly slowed down to wait for me, and I just got under 2 hours, literally just. So yeah, March, North Links Half Marathon, and I still, to this day, do not know how I did it that quick. I ran with you and Chris for a bit, and then thought I need to go a bit quicker, so I went. And I think I was pushed on by the thought that you were right behind me. Because people kept saying, she's right behind you. And it's like, oh my God. So yeah,
You smashed it.
I did it in 1 hour 36. And I still don't know how I did it in 1 hour 36. I've no idea. Yeah. So that is my...
First one?
And what I probably learned from that day was I can run quicker than I think I can.
I think you learnt a lot of belief that day. Though.
Yes, that actually you really can run quicker than you think. And a lot of times, training, I'm a perfect example because even on track, when I go training, I go to track, I plod round thinking, whew, I'm putting a lot of effort in here, but I'm not really because obviously that day, and I still felt all right when I finished. So that will be race number 1.
Okay.
What about you? What is your first?
Oh no, I thought you were going to list just.
I don't want to go 5. You can. We can do 1 each. It's.
So my first race that I've got was my first one in my calendar as a triathlon. I've chosen, and that was Lanzarote 70.3.
Very good.
I felt like I've chosen this one because it's hard coming out of winter training.
Yeah.
Not being able to execute all of your training properly as in open water swims, proper bike miles.
Of course, because you won't have done any open water swimming before.
I think that to go and do a triathlon like that, then I'm patting myself on the back for that one. I had bigger aims, but do you know what? I look back now and think I learnt a lot from that day. And it was pretty cool to race in Lanzarote. So I didn't finish in where I wanted to, but the fact that
it was still a strong result.
Yeah,
though.
Exactly. The fact that I've come out of that and in the heat and so that's my.
That's
first
another thing as well.
choice.
The heat. You come out of winter. You've been doing all your training in winter and the early part of spring. Really only a tiny bit of spring, and then all of a sudden you're straight in the heat, aren't you?
So I've chosen that one because of the memories that it's given, the lessons I learnt that day, and
flying down at nearly 50 mile an hour.
Yeah,
probably.
exactly.
Yeah.
And they're not doing that race ever again, so it looks like an iconic event that I'm just able to have raced. So that's pretty much why I've chosen my first one.
Cool. So you want my second one? My second one then was really what I class as my first proper triathlon. Because I did Brig Sprint, but I didn't really class that as a proper one because it's a pool swim and what have you. Okay. So the Lakesman half in June, that's number 2. Because that was middle distance, mass start swim, for the first time in what was gravy really to swim in because the water was churned up that much. I stuck my head in, couldn't see a thing, so it was a bit of a shock. I also learnt that day that nailing the bike as fast as you can
you had a cracking bike.
is I did, and I got off the bike thinking, wow, that was half an hour quicker than I expected it to be. Then when I got running, realised that I should have gone probably 20 minutes slower and I'd have had a bit left in my legs.
That's how I always race my triathlons.
Yeah, so I went flat out on the bike as fast as I could and then obviously struggled on the run. But I'm still proud of the bike. It was a good bike time. Probably
19 point something miles an
hour.
Yeah,
it was 2 hours 47 I think for the bike. And then unfortunately 2 hours 9 for the run.
And you fell over.
Because my legs were knackered. And I fell over. But I got picked up by a pirate. That was quite nice. The Lakesman. And I will always fondly look back at that and think, that was my first proper triathlon because it was open water. And I felt then, I was pleased when I'd done Brig Sprint. But when I'd done the Lakesman, it was like, right, you're a triathlete because you've now done a proper triathlon. And I felt like I'd properly done one. So I learned not to nail the bike too much, and that was a valuable lesson learned, I think. So that's the second one of my 3.
Okay.
Yours?
Cambridge 50 mile TT.
Oh yeah.
So back in, I think it would have been July. after hurting my back. I had not been having some time off and managed to race a 50-mile time trial in the hottest day of the year.
Yeah.
Pretty much. It was like a wind tunnel. Looking back now, it was probably very much like Kona on the heat situation and stuff with it as well, except Kona gave the hills. Unknown territory, 50-mile time trial. You don't really know how far your body's going to go, but I'll hold it there that I will go back and do it, knowing that knowing what your body is capable of and in certain conditions, and hopefully take that further for next year.
Yeah, and you also know that you weren't as fit as you could have been because you had been injured for a bit, so you hadn't really done a lot of training before it, had you, for quite a few weeks leading up to it. So
that is probably something that's always been on my to-do list as well. So that's probably why I chose that one as my second race of the year, or event of the year, shall we say. All part of the lead up to Kona.
Yep, cool. So does that mean I'm now on to my number one then?
Yeah, because I've got 2 more to go. I've got 3 more to go because I chose 5.
Well, actually, then I'm going to sneak another one in here. I'm going to go back to May.
Okay.
And I'm going to sneak in Pontefract 10K. The first time I've run under 45 minutes for 10K. My target that day was sub 45. That was my plan. I'd not been to Pontefract before. You have. You've run it before. I haven't. I didn't quite realise it was as hilly it was. Quite a big uphill bit at the start, and then coming back as well past the golf course.
Great 10K though, wasn't it?
Oh, really good race. Enjoyed it. And I did 44.19, and genuinely don't think I could have run any quicker than that. Not that day anyway. So I was mega happy to get under 45 because that was my target, and I nearly threw up at the end. So again, that's another thing of you can go faster than you think you can. So I'll just sneak that one in there.
Cool.
So back to you.
My third. Now I've chosen this from a part of me, the enjoyment of you racing and me being able to race as well. And probably, purely because I had a great result and the atmosphere was amazing and everything about it just started off the weekend for me perfectly. And that would be Saundersfoot Triathlon, the weekend that you did Ironman Wales. We was on about it the other day, and I think that if anyone is going to go and support somebody down at Ironman Wales, book it. It was great.
Yeah, I can vouch for
It was
that.
absolutely brilliant. There's no PB position, but PB times, but 4th lady. Happy with that. I've screwed up on the swim. I should have been a lot further up the podium.
4th lady and whatever you were in your age group, I can't remember. Second in your age group. Yeah.
So the reward came from that to come away with that position. So I'm happy with that. It was a great run, and it was a great start to a pretty amazing weekend, really.
It was
memories that
from a spectator's point of view.
Going to forget.
It was a great race to spectate and be involved in.
Race.
It was. It was good. I would consider doing it if I went back to Tenby.
Yeah. So. Not easy, but great.
No, the mass start swim was slightly awkward due to the tide, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And everyone had to go up the slipway.
Yeah.
But so right.
So that would be my next one.
Right. Well, back to me then. I suppose this is the main one, and obviously it's Ironman Wales that weekend. I don't really know what more I can say about it, to be honest. The race went perfectly.
Well, I would say that based on your recent achievements of the Off the Couch Fitness Awards evening, I think that explains exactly how well you enjoyed it.
Yeah, well, I did enjoy it.
Would you like to show?
No, I'll save that. I did. I enjoyed the whole day. I enjoyed the lead up to it. Everything. First Ironman, or full distance Ironman. Enjoyed the whole experience. I'd done the training, so I knew I could do it. I just had to go out there and execute the plan, which I did. Nothing went wrong. And things can easily go wrong, but luckily for me, nothing went wrong that day. Everything went right, and I finished and got the medal and had a pizza at the end, and everything was...
Smiled the whole way around.
Yeah, I know, because I genuinely did. Once I knew I was going to finish, and that bearing my legs falling off, I was going to finish the race, that was it. I was relaxed. It was sort of like, there's no need to panic. I'm going to finish. So just then try and enjoy it, and I did enjoy it, and and the whole weekend being in Tenby, it's a special place, and anybody who's doing it next year, you've picked a great Ironman to do, because
and I think there's people that are listening, and I'll say this, I think that if anyone out there is contemplating doing that event or is already entered, or please feel free to get in touch for any tips and advice around how the day might be and how things what to kind of be aware for, or
I think
or anything.
One thing I'll say, a lot of people go on social media groups based around certain events and get fed a lot of information that you don't need.
Everyone's very different mindsets, aren't they?
You don't need a lot of people talking about stuff that is not relevant. Just don't bother with it. Ask people who've done it. They'll tell you what's important, what you need to know, what you need to concentrate on.
And everyone's different, understanding why people are there. People are there at different levels racing, aren't they?
Yeah, exactly.
So people are there to just literally...
to finish and enjoy it like I was, and obviously other people are there to win age groups and, you know, qualify for other races and what have you. But Ironman Wales, that's...
valid.
Yeah, thanks.
And you did get your award as well because of that. And you weren't allowed to show it because it is hiding down there.
I did get my award, because it was club award night, 2 or 3 weeks ago, and there it is. So I'll just leave that on the table for now. Thank you very much. I don't get awards very often, so I'm going to leave it there.
You earned it.
Thank you very much.
And you did deserve that, 100%. Well done, babe.
Thanks. Back to you.
My next one is Vitruvian.
Another hot day.
Another hot day. And I think that this is probably, I've chosen the key events really that I chose on the run up to Kona, which people know about. Vitruvian, probably like the hottest races I've ever done in the UK. I finished 4th in my age group.
Yeah.
But I still managed to get a massive PB, and it was a stacked field out there of competitors, and it was an ace to race against so many amazing competitive triathletes. So hot.
I believe I was going back, I was looking through some video stuff on my phone the other day, and I took a video at 5 o'clock in the morning when I was at the side of Rutland Water.
Oh, God.
And it was 24 or 25 degrees at 5 o'clock in the morning. Yeah. It was unreal, wasn't it?
If only I could have had that same condition, or same race day as I did when I was at Kona, it would be completely different. But no. And I just love the event.
Yeah.
I think that great course, very well organised, great for spectators. Swim was brilliant. I can't fault it.
Yeah.
Everything was really good.
And a really cool T-shirt as well.
Yeah.
It's quite a cool T-shirt, the Vitruvian one. Yeah.
So it's always been an event that, I've known a lot of triathletes from a long period of time, and the Vitruvian was always an iconic event from many years ago. So it was always on my list. Jane Clark and quite a few other people have done that in the past. So it's nice to have finally gone and raced that myself as well. So that's kind of one of those things that's the reason why I chose that, is that, being able to tick that off.
Cool. Well, I didn't have another one because obviously I'd only picked 3, and I've had to add another. No, but I'm going to have to keep. So I'm going to sneak another one in, which is not better than Ironman Wales, but at the time it was a big achievement, and it was the first time I swam 3.8k in open water, which is when we did the epic event swim at Ullswater. And I hadn't done that much open water swimming at that point, because it was at the beginning of June. And yeah, to tick off 3.8k in open water for the first time at another mass start swim was pretty good. And I was happy with the time that I did it in. In fact, I remember coming out of the water and thinking, well, where is everybody? No one's here giving me a clap when I come out, and you lot were all chatting down the field and what have you, didn't you?
Yeah.
But yeah, I was really pleased with that, because that was a big thing for me to tick off. Because as you know, I'm not that confident in water. Better with a wetsuit on, but not that confident in water anyway. And to be in the water with a lot of people,
Yeah.
I was pretty nervous. And to get out of the water and finish and do it in a decent time, was a big tick off for Wales. That gave me a lot of confidence for Wales. So.
I have to admit now, and I don't know if I ever told you, but we kind of just threw you in at the deep end, literally, with that event, because I didn't give you an option as to what
but it
distance you were going to do.
But
I
it
just
was the
kind
right
of
thing to do.
But Phil and I both were talking and seeing the event, and it's about Nick, and then we both were like, right, we'll just enter them both.
Yes, because obviously Nick did it as well.
We'll just enter them both into it, and it's like, why exactly? You know that it's there, you can achieve it, you can do it. It's just the fear of thinking, oh God, I can't do that. So sometimes you just need that little bit of a
push. You can, and that race, because it was laps, I can't remember how many laps it was.
3, was it?
Was it 3? Mm-hmm. 3 laps, but it was one of those things, it was going back to the lap thing where you tick it off.
Yeah.
And that I found quite easy, because at the time, I was absolutely bricking it. And I thought, right, I got in the water and I thought, right, okay, I'll do a lap and I'll see how I feel. If I need to have a minute and have a bit of a breather, I will. Mm-hmm. But I came round after the first lap and thought, well, I feel really good, I'll just carry on. And then came round, then I got cramp on the last lap, but managed to get rid of the cramp before I tried to get out of the water. But when I got out, I thought, that's a massive thing for me to do, because it's, in my mind, I know I can do it now.
Yeah.
And so that gave me a massive boost before Wales. So.
Don't fear it, just get on with it.
Yeah, just do it. And yeah, that's it, yeah. Don't worry about it, just go and do it and see what happens.
Okay, so my 5th event of the year would obviously have to be Kona.
The 5th out of your 3.
My penultimate triathlon. I don't need to go into Kona.
No,
people have seen the
that.
recent podcast and everything with that, and if anyone knows what that is, then people understand that. So, but my last race, my last triathlon, and my last top race of the year would be, our best race would be Kona, because I was fortunate enough to go.
Exactly, and I think that's a great way to think about it. That it is an achievement just to qualify and get there. So to actually qualify and get in, and let's face it, in 5 years, 2018 Brig Sprint, your first one. Mm-hmm. So from 5 years, first sprint triathlon, and 5 years you were at Kona. And to be honest, it could have been less than that if it hadn't been for COVID.
Damn COVID.
Because Ironman Wales obviously got put back, didn't it?
Yeah,
for
twice,
2 years. So it could have been a lot earlier than that. So I think it's a pretty decent achievement to do that in a short space of time. So well done from me. Good, you're not going to sneak any more races in there?
No, that's it. That is literally my 5. I couldn't take it down to 3. And I think that when we spoke about what we were going to talk about tonight, we were talking about listing it, it was just too much volume. Yeah. So to literally choose our top 3 and top 5, if that can give any inspiration to other people to then go off and do those, or
it doesn't have to be the biggest race. It's just what you achieved during that race, or what you got out of it confidence-wise. I mean, the Ullswater swim thing, 500 people or whatever it was, but it's like, it gave me that confidence then to know that when I went to Wales, I knew I could do the distance, and that's all I needed in my head. So
as much as they're your biggest, your top 5 races of the year, what has been your biggest achievement? Now, that could be getting up in the morning, putting your shoes on again after a long run, or...
I mean...
What's your biggest achievement that you've learned in your less than
Wow,
12
God,
months, 12 months maybe, is it? Starting from 0 to...
Technically, if we're going to go to Wales, it was 11 months, wasn't it, I think. Yeah. Wow, biggest achievement. I mean, obviously the biggest achievement was to finish at Ironman Wales, but it teaches you a lot of things. You have to make yourself accountable. Having a training plan makes you accountable. You know that if you don't do the training, you're not going to finish the race. So
it's going to hurt.
And it's going to hurt.
A lot.
And it's going to hurt. It might hurt a lot and you won't finish the race. So it might as well hurt a lot and you finish. Mm-hmm. If you're going to do half the training, you might as well do it all. Because there's no point. There's no point going, oh, do you know what, I can't be bothered today. Because that's not going to get you where you need to be. And I made the decision in October 2022 that I was going to do Ironman Wales.
You committed.
And that committed me to doing it. And the other thing was I paid the money and I thought, I'm not wasting the money because it's not cheap. So I thought, I've entered it, I'm going to do it. And the thing of having, I know sometimes there's a plan where it's like 2 or 3 years down the line, you start, then you do an Ironman. But I didn't want to do that because you don't know where you're going to be in 2 or 3 years' time. Anything can happen. I thought if I'm fit enough to do it, I'll do it now. Or if I can be fit enough in 11 months' time, then I'll do it. There's no point in putting it off for 2 or 3 years because, it's just, would I then lose the appetite to want to do it? Mm-hmm. While it's fresh in my head and the memories are there, that's what made me want to enter and made me want to race.
Yeah.
And to then do it in a short space of time, I think pushes you on and makes you train harder. Everyone has bad days and you get home from work and go, do you know what, I really can't be bothered tonight. But you know that all those other people that are doing Ironman Wales, they'll all be out training. So if you're not, it's, you're putting yourself on the back foot straight away. You've got to keep going and you've got to keep doing it. You've also got to realise that when you're injured, you need to have a rest and don't keep pushing. Mm-hmm. So if you are injured, you are hurting, have a day off or 2 days off, 3 days, it's not going to kill you, is it? No. You've got to be sensible as well. I've never been disciplined with training or anything before, so I think probably the biggest achievement is to have the discipline to keep doing the training day after day. Because basically, if people don't know what it is, most people obviously know what training is involved in Ironman, but if you don't, you are basically training for 7 days a week, 6 days a week sometimes, but it's 6 or 7 days a week, and it's not, I don't feel like it today. You've got to do it, because otherwise...
No excuses.
Yeah, no excuses. You've got to do it. You're ticking the milestones off. It's like... You go out to the pub and you have 5 pints and then you go to Pontefract and run 44.19. Do you know what I mean? But that's what you do, because if you don't do it, you might as well give up, haven't you, if that's your attitude. If you want to go out for a beer, go out and have a beer, but you've still got to go out and do the run the next morning. You can't just lay in bed and say you're not doing it. You've got to get on with it.
No matter what.
So I think I proved that you can still have a life.
100%.
And do an Ironman.
Yeah.
Obviously, if you want to do an Ironman a lot quicker than I did it, then obviously... you would have to be a bit more serious than I was. But I don't know, discipline, I suppose.
Yeah.
That's probably the biggest thing, discipline. And
that's probably the answers the next question.
But I think that's what you have to have, isn't it?
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're not going to get there. It's too easy to say no. We've said this loads of times before, where it's too easy to just go, oh, I'm not doing it tonight. But that ain't going to get you over the finish line. But it's the feeling,
and I think this is the whole thing, it's the whole feeling of how, as much as the training will be hard, it's how you feel after you've done the training, how it makes you feel in the rest of your life. You've got a lot more get up and go, you've got more energy, you've got more drive, you've got more drive in everything that you do. Yes, it gets hard, it gets tough, you get tired, you sleep, you eat, you repeat. But the qualities and... attributes that the whole triathlon discipline does give you, I just think that you take that into everything that you are as a person as well. I think, and it gives you...
Yeah, it does change. It changes your whole outlook. It
gives you so much more than just doing the events, doesn't it?
Of course it does. changes your attitude to your life, basically. My job a lot of the time involves a lot of sitting down at work. And I know now that the reason that my knees and stuff hurt and ache is because I'm spending too much time sat down.
Movement is key, isn't
Movement
it?
is key. The more you move about, the better you feel. But trying to
Yeah.
convince people that actually is, but it is. Because I know that if I've been sat down all day at work, I have to do quite a bit of stretching before I go out for a run.
Seized up and you're stiff.
Because you seize up, because you sat down and you're not moving. We're designed to move around and walk about, not sit on our asses doing nothing. So it is, But if it's snowing or icy and hammering down with rain and all that sort of stuff, you don't want to go out.
So that was another thing, like obviously now we're in winter. What are our top tips for winter training from that point of view? So how do we get through winter training?
Yeah, well, you go to the gym, don't you? Quite a bit.
I do use the gym, so I will take, if it's raining, and it used to give you the speed. And if you're running alone, it's the safest place you can do it. So if you have got the flexibility to go to a gym, then great. If not, if it's you and I running, then we would put on the head torches, we would go out and we'd run, or we would go to track.
Yes.
Where it's all floodlit, it's safe, because you're not safe to run on your own in the dark because you fall over all the time.
I do fall over quite a lot, yes. I do.
I know you're getting old.
I know, but I do. And that's why I try and run on the road. I try and run, if I'm running around town, I try and run on the road, obviously into the traffic.
And then you get lost and realise where you are, and then you're back in the dark again.
And then, obviously, if a car's coming, then I hop onto the path. But last time I did that when I was out, I ended up, I was like, what am I doing laid down here? So it's not ideal because,
No. So that is...
Track.
That's track. There's ways around it. Get to the treadmill, get to the gym.
Yeah, and just like say for anybody who lives in our area, you don't have to be a member of a club to go to a track.
No, because
we go to use Costello in Hull, don't we? And you just turn up.
£2.50?
I can't remember how much it is, but you can literally turn up any night of the week from 5 o'clock, pay your money, go on track, have an hour, and you're running under floodlights on the track, so it's controlled.
There might be somebody running a session, but you can just go do your own thing.
You can go do your own thing.
Don't get in their way.
Yeah, plenty of people use it, so it's not unaccessible to do it.
So that was one thing that we did to try and get through the winter as well, didn't we?
Which is good, which did work.
I think that motivation, everyone says, I've not got the motivation to do it. For me, what motivates me is how I feel after I've done it, and how I feel. And yes, addiction to exercise is probably one thing that it is, but that is because of how it makes you feel. Is that if I don't do it,
you feel
I feel worse.
You do, yeah.
I think that you get in I think that by not doing it, you get in this slump, and then not the depression, but the it just falls, and you
it just snowballs a bit, doesn't it?
You don't feel yourself, but and
then you feel worse the next day because you didn't go and do it.
It's the endorphins and what was it I said earlier, the dopamine that helps you
listening to
get that motivation. I know, but it's so true.
It does, exercise does make you feel better when you've done it.
And that purely can be getting out of your house and going for a walk.
Yeah.
And for 20 minutes.
Yeah, because even just
and you'll feel
now,
more.
Obviously.
Everyone always says, don't they, I can never get the motivation. Well, there isn't such thing as, there's no pill for it. You don't just get motivated.
No, you have to try and remember the feeling that you get when you've done the exercise. It's the motivation to go and do it.
And getting up every morning, and I prefer to exercise before work because I feel more alert, more ready for the day, more motivated, and just got more get up and go. And I think that by utilising that potential hour before work, rather than sat in bed scrolling on my phone.
If you've only got one
nothing.
session to do that day,
yeah,
then you've done that session before you go to work and your evening is free.
Yeah. So that'd be my top tip. And there's no such for me as well. Winter, with it raining, like last weekend we went out on the bikes, but. You expect everything's going to get wet and muddy and horrible, but you dress for the occasion. You get muddy, you go out, you put your winter gear on if it's raining, you put your waterproof on if you're going to get wet. So
yeah, we were lucky. I think last Saturday a load of us went out, didn't we, and did 45 miles, and the weather was pretty decent. It was actually like a spring day. The roads were particularly dirty.
There's no such thing, and it's a cliche saying, but there's no such thing as bad weather, it's bad clothing.
Yeah.
So, and it's true. And I think that now that people probably watching this podcast will be going into January, New Year's resolutions, I'm going to get fit, I'm going to do this, but why is it just for January? It's not, it's a lifestyle thing, and it's his own natural drug. I was
just going to say, going back to the walking thing, obviously, I've been struggling with my knee a bit for the last couple of weeks, so I haven't been running. But it doesn't mean I can't walk. No. So we've been going out for a walk, haven't we? Yeah. So we'll go out for an hour, and we'll go walk for an hour at
5.5 miles around Barton, delivering post-Christmas cards.
Yeah, delivering Christmas cards. Yeah, we did 5.5 miles the other night doing that. So yeah, just because I can't run, it doesn't mean that I then have to just sit down and do nothing. It's like I can still swim, still ride a bike. So that's still been happening.
Yeah,
but
and it's still fortunate.
Yeah, but I can still walk, so I'll just go out and walk, because you still need to have that movement.
Yeah.
And you need to keep yourself doing something. Also, having an event booked is a helper, I think.
So, from that, you have your 2024 events booked, don't you?
Some of them.
Okay.
Yeah,
you don't have to talk about them all now. You can talk about ones that you want to talk about if you want to talk about.
Well, I've got a couple of runs booked.
Have you?
Yes, for late January, early February, which.
Wait, got bored?
Both that I've done before. Ferriby 10 and 20, which is end of January, and Grisdale half trail marathon, half marathon on trail.
Yeah, it was fab, that one.
Which is the 5th of February.
Yeah.
So I'm doing them again, and I do have a 70.3 event booked for May as well, on an island in the Mediterranean that begins with M.
Nice and sunny.
Yes. So we'll be doing that as well. So yeah, they are. I mean, to be fair, I did book Mallorca quite a long time ago.
Yeah. Yeah, we did, didn't we?
But so that's booked as well. But before that, we will be heading off to Tricamp in March, won't we, as well? So we'll hopefully have a nice week of sunny weather. To get a bit of quality training in, hopefully a nice bit of open water swimming, because
it'd be a nice warm up for that.
Yeah, because Mallorca's quite early on. It's 11th of May, I think, so not really an opportunity to do a lot of open water swimming in the UK before then. So it'd be nice when we go to Tricamp, which is towards the end of March, to get some quality sessions in the sea. I didn't last year because I had a bit of a nightmare with wetsuits that didn't fit very well. But
I think you'll be a lot more prepared this year.
Yeah, I'll know what to expect.
Like last year we went at Christmas, that's the first time you've ever been to Lanzarote, so you've got to be aware of the road. Second time now that it's your more experience of where you're going, know you as your person, as your ability, and now you're in a position to go, right, okay, this is where I'm at, and you know when you can push yourself and try and try and up your game a little bit, maybe, from that point. So
because, I mean,
learn some new skills.
Last year at Tricamp was the first one I went to, and I really enjoyed it. And obviously I didn't really have I did obviously have an Ironman, but it's in September. This year at Tricamp will be a little bit different, because obviously I've got a race basically 6 weeks after we get back. I'll be going back out to race again in Mallorca. So
are you doing another Ironman next year?
I'm doing an Ironman event.
You're not doing a full distance?
I'm not doing a full distance next year. No, I'm not. Simply because at the moment there isn't one that I really want to do.
Yeah.
there's something else on the horizon at the end of the year that I really am interested in, and may have entered. More about that later. But yeah, something different. It's not all about Ironman.
No, it's not. And I think that one thing that we spoke about that when we were in Hawaii was it's not all about doing an Ironman every single year.
No, it's not.
You can drop down the distance and let your mentally body recover and stuff, become faster at shorter distances.
Yeah.
And then take it to the next year to the Ironman again and raise it to hopefully then.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be about an.
And it's the time investment, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly, because there's a lot of training involved.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's a lot of training in 70.3, and especially if you're doing events spaced out through the year, then you are constantly training anyway, which I will be because I've sort of spaced them 3 events out through the year again next year. So I will be training all the time, not to the extent of doing a full Ironman, but it'll be more, I guess, around being a bit faster, hopefully. But yeah, I wanted to do. This is what I know why people do the Ironman events, because they are great, they're well organised, and if you're going to do one, they are great. But for me, it has to be one I want to do. I can't just go and do one because, I need to do an Ironman next year, I'll go do that. It's something that it's somewhere I need to...
fire in your belly.
Yeah, I need to be... I wanted to do Tenby because of the experience the year before, and Tenby was amazing. So I know that anywhere after Tenby is not going to be as good. I'm already expecting that. So if we get to 2025 and I'm still doing this, and I decide that I'm going to do another full Ironman, I have to pick one that's somewhere I want to go, and a reason for me to go and do it. Because I have to be fired up to do the training. I don't want to go, I'm going to, some nomad place that, it has to be something that I want to do.
Yeah.
Because I'm not wasting, I've only got so many races in me, so I'm not wasting them on ones that don't mean anything to me. So, which is part of the reason why I'm doing the other event at the end of next year, which we're not speaking about yet. But that's part of the reason why I've entered that, because it's different. And there is, as you know, there's other events that I want to do.
Yeah.
Which are not Ironman events. So...
we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, because it's not all about the M dot.
No, it's not.
Now I've got one. I've got one now, so I don't need
You wear it all the time.
I wear it all the time. Yeah. So, so I'm looking forward to Tri Camp. Be a bit more intense for me, I think. But I want to get...
No slacking this year. I think we're 100 miles out of you on racing, please, this year.
Well, Charles and I have already spoken about doing the 100-miler in Lanzarote in March, so there'll be no excuses there. And I want to get more...
Put your big boy pants on.
Yeah, I want to spend more time in the sea as well, because it's the only chance I'm going to get to open water swimming before Mallorca.
Yeah.
So that's the other thing. And I had 2 really crap attempts at swimming in the sea there last year.
Yeah, but it's all new, so...
Yeah, exactly. So it was, but it was experience and learning and it obviously, So...
Yeah.
So more swimming in the sea.
That's good. Yeah.
What are you looking at me like that for?
Nothing. No, I'm excited for you. I think that you've, from the events and things that you've chosen, I think when you look at this year, I think you're going very calculated into next year. You know what you want and you know where things go.
Yeah, well, that's the other thing I've learned. The other thing is...
What, you're very calculated?
You have to be. You have to be. That's the part of race prep.
Yeah.
Part of race prep is planning everything.
Piss poor preparation.
Exactly.
Leads to piss poor performance.
Correct, and we don't want that. So you do have to plan it. We both know somebody who rocked up to an Ironman with a brand new pair of trainers that he'd never worn before. You can't. I couldn't do that.
I love you, Dave Gibbs.
I love Dave Gibbs. I couldn't do that. I have to know. It's like I said with swim. I have to know. I had to do Tour of the Peak because I had to know that I could do the bike. I have to know that that's that. Everything's there. I know.
Bankable.
Everything, so there's nothing to chance. Control the controllable. Have a plan. We know from Kona, from the last chat, if you have got a plan, it very often changes several times during the race because that didn't quite go according to plan, so you change that and then you have to change that. I was lucky in Wales because everything went just as it should have done. Nothing, but I put that down to part of that was all the planning and me knowing exactly what to do and having it all in my head that I knew what speed I needed to go at so that I didn't do a lakesman and go flat out on the bike and have nothing left for the run. That's what I learned from the lakesman. So, yeah, planning, I like a plan.
So I think, though, to review the year then, that is one of your best skills that you'll take and into next year.
Oh, if I was as good at swimming as I am at planning,
but
that'd be great.
There's the opportunity there now for you to then grow it. You can just hone me for quite a while now, maybe on your swimming. Throw yourself in the deep end and push yourself and actually try and
every time I go in the pool, I feel like I'm going in at the deep end, to be honest.
Yeah, well,
I know, I do need...
Well, it's only like me and Charles the other day in the swimming pool, we forced ourselves to do tumble turns.
He'll love
and
it.
It was the slowest one we've done for ages, but I know he'll hate me for saying this now, but Chris, you were crap at them.
he'll love you for talking about this.
But do you know what? It's one of those things where I've always tried to learn. It's something it looks so simple and so beautifully, etiquetely executed by people in the pool. I was like, I need to have a go at this. So I was like,
elegant, I think, is the word
we
you're looking
made
for.
ourselves do tumble turns. Now, you always keep learning. So every other length at the top end of the pool, we were doing tumble turns. Chris ended up in the other lane, headbutted me a few times. But if you don't try, you can't get better
No, that's it.
So
there's no point saying, I wish I could do it if you're not going to try. You've got to do it, haven't you?
So anyone out there who's debating to enter an event or do anything and stuff, just give it a go. Don't be afraid of what the outcome might be.
No, you can only give it a shot.
Give it your best shot.
If it don't work out.
If you're willing to commit, go for it. Nothing to lose.
The other thing is as well, it's all right if it goes wrong.
Yeah, but you got to fail to improve.
Sometimes you do.
Yeah.
So it's
can't be perfect at everything.
No, it's okay to fail.
Yeah.
If it doesn't go according to plan and it all goes, then do you know what? That's just what happened.
Yeah.
You just say, well, it wasn't my day
But
today. It all went wrong. You learn from what went wrong and then go again.
You can give up or you can try again.
Exactly.
So yeah.
Yeah. So you've obviously been early morning swimming. Mm-hmm. I've been using the gym for the first time in my life.
Yes. My husband has started to hit the gym and get some muscle.
No, I haven't got any because I've famously got no muscles at all and never have had. And wow.
You're working on your guns, aren't you?
It's a different world. And I'd like to thank Chris as well, because without Chris I wouldn't have done it, because I'm not the kind of person who can walk into a gym full of people.
And you don't want to go to the
because
gym
it's just like, oh, that's not me. Do you know what I mean? I'm not doing it to like get bigger. I'm just doing it to have a bit of strength, because I need to have a bit of strength, which I'm hoping will improve my swimming, because I know I am piss poor at, and I need to get a bit stronger. So that's why I'm doing it. But yes, some of the exercises, I mean, I've discovered battle ropes. I mean, they can be a bit challenging. And yeah, weights, although I'm on the really small weights, they weigh about as much as a cup of coffee at the minute, the ones I'm using. So they're not very big, but they do make my arms hurt, so they must be doing some good.
Well, exactly, yeah.
But I have discovered that I can do pull-ups.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's not bad. So I'm using the gym just like once a week or once a fortnight at the minute, through the winter, just to try and get a bit of strength. So
I think that this time of the year is really the only real opportunity that you get to be able to do some quality strength work, because when it comes to actually training, then you're more absorbed on doing everything else.
Yeah, getting your miles on your bike.
It's time and balance and what you've got first.
At the minute, I'm only swimming once a week. Yeah. Probably should be doing 2, but should be there tonight actually. But yeah, I feel as though I'm getting the value obviously out of the gym stuff, and it's a whole new world for me, because it's something I've always shied away from. And
so much so that now got gym equipment.
We have also managed to get some...
It's taken me 5 years, ladies and gentlemen.
But it's all in bits, so it's...
5 years.
5 years. We haven't got anywhere to put it at the minute, so it's it's all in bits. But we have, yeah. So that's new, and I'm enjoying it as well. Yeah. And it's quite good because, it's quite good having somebody there to show you the ropes and what to do and how to do the exercises. Because a lot of the times I just sort of do them wrong, and it's like, oh no, you're not quite doing it right. And then I go, oh yeah, it hurts when I do it like that, so I must be doing it.
And any evidence that you know from a point of view that you read and you look at and you see that to stay injury-free and keep your body better for later on in life and support everything, and that's one thing I've learned as well recently, is that the gym will help you, or any sort of yoga, functional, strength resistance exercises that you can help your body to stay strong, will help you at any point of your life. I think that for people that work at the desk and everything else, I think it's just, it is proper, it is key to stay in.
Yeah, you need to work on your muscles more when you get older.
To look after your body, and so you don't break down as fast. Is that the best way to explain it?
Yeah, probably.
So, yeah.
Yeah, cool.
So, yeah. You got anything else to say?
No, I don't think I have, to be honest. I think I've said everything I need to say.
Yeah.
Have you got anything to say?
Well, I kind of I put it out on social media a bit about that I've kind of been initiating to force triathlon retirement.
You have, and I didn't mention that because I didn't know whether you wanted to say anything about it or not. So I thought it's entirely up to you.
Sad. It is still a difficult subject, and yes, so. People out there that don't know, I can't run anymore. Basically, I need a new knee.
You do.
Kona was a struggle. Leading up to Kona was hard work. But my mental strength probably got me through it more than anything.
I think so.
And recent scans have shown that I need a new kneecap. So there's no running for me. And touch wood, since I've stopped running, my positives out of this will be I can walk properly again.
Yeah.
My knee has gone back to, I haven't got any swellings or anything there. The movement's come back. My quality of life is better. I can walk properly. I can get out of bed properly. I can walk up and down the stairs properly. I can still gym. I can still bike. I can still swim. Pull boy, really. So yeah.
Yeah, but you'd be all right in a wetsuit.
Yeah. So it's not all over. This girl's not fully retired.
No, it's not fully retired. You're not fully retired. You've just retired from triathlon because obviously you can't run anymore.
Can't run. So I have spoken to people about this, and there will be opportunities at some point to do a relay. I did have Mallorca 70.3 entered. They won't let me change that into a relay, which is I planned to. So I've chosen to be back bitch. Got my refund. And at the minute, I don't have any events planned for 2024.
No, you've got Tri-Camp, obviously.
Yep.
So you'll be getting a lot of cycling in.
Yep.
Enjoying Lanzarote.
Yep.
But apart from that, nothing. But you have got stuff on the horizon that you're looking at,
Ideas.
obviously.
Yeah.
Swimming events and cycling events, and hopefully maybe get a relay team together to do a relay.
Yeah.
I imagine a pretty fast relay if... That's what you're looking at.
But if I can, I will now, Alan, always say this, I will concentrate on what I can do rather than what I can't do.
Yeah.
I still don't know how, but my motivation is still pretty strong.
Yeah,
In your words, the day after I announced my retirement, I was at the gym next day.
You were in the gym the next morning, then you swam the next night. So you did 2 training sessions on the day that you announced you were retiring. So that's pretty motivated, I would say.
Yeah. So it is winter, and yes, things are being backed off. But I don't want to be crap at Tri-Camp and put myself to shame.
I still need
to keep my level as where I need it to be. And I will probably concentrate on being a freaking awesome cyclist again.
Well, you did say, obviously, you want to do a 50-mile time trial again. You also mentioned before about a 100-mile time trial as well.
Yeah.
So
there's more more opportunities there for other things to be done. So the blank piece of paper is very clear and open to ideas.
Yeah,
right now.
which is good. And you've got a positive attitude. I know it's been difficult for you, naturally, after where you've been, but you have been positive, and
I think I'd feel...
You're looking forwards now,
Yeah.
and not backwards, and looking at what you can do and what it'll be possible
and
for
I think
you
I'd probably felt... I think because of Kona, and I felt very humble and very... I knew when I ran, I said to you, I knew at the end when I ran that
You
was
did,
it.
yeah.
And
And
I
you
knew...
said that.
I knew then. I know my body. After fracturing, dislocating it however many years ago, and...
Well, yeah, I mean, when you did it when you were 14,
Yeah.
and you were then told that you wouldn't be able to play sport anymore.
So yeah, don't listen to what doctors say, and
No.
I haven't actually listened to what doctors say this time, because otherwise I need a new knee, and I might as well prolong the uncomfortableness than rather be uncomfortable for a longer period of time. So I'm trying to strengthen the longevity of it rather than knacker it.
And like you said, since you have stopped running, you're pain-free.
Yeah.
So that's a positive thing.
Yeah.
So it means that you can do the training that you're doing and still do sport.
Touch wood.
Yeah.
And I'll keep going as we can. So
it also means that the half marathon house record and the 10K house record will be mine forever. And obviously I'll try and improve on them if I can this year.
Your aim should now be to go and get my half triathlon target, shall we say?
What is your
5:15, 5:18.
5:15?
Something like that.
Bloody hell. Is it?
I'm sure it was like a good 11
When
minute
was
PB at
that?
Vitruvian.
At Vitruvian? Oh yeah, it was about
put it out there.
5:15, 5:18.
Targets.
I mean, I'm way off that yet. I'm over half an hour off it. So work to be done then.
Yeah.
Okay,
to
coach.
be taken. To be taken. So don't be performance of the year next year, be male of the year next year.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah. No pressure, is there? God. Actually, at the awards night, there was, I thought everybody who won, there was some people who, I would have, if you'd have said to me, who do you think's going to win that? I'd have said, and they did win it. And because there were some people who did some quite outstanding stuff.
Yeah.
So for me to get that, I was pretty chuffed, to be honest, because it was like, I could have probably gone down a list of 20 people who I thought had done, picked a better race than I had, or done a better race than I had during the year. I was pretty pleased with that. So that'll always be there.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that one thing that I will say, and this is a big shout out to Steve and Off the Couch Fitness, is that personally for me, obviously being with Off the Couch Fitness, and I still and I will remain, that the past 5 years have got me to where I've got to. But that's not just me getting me there, that's Steve getting me there, and there's the community of everybody else that's of the club that I've been training with and I've met along the way, and it's how everybody supports each other, motivates each other, helps each other, guides each other. You're not alone doing it and things as well. So if you can build your community and the positivity and everything around what everybody's doing, and I don't think that we'd probably be in the situation that we are now. So
there's always someone to ask for advice.
Yeah.
And if you need it, if you're not sure about anything, there's
As
always
a reflection.
There's always somebody there you can ask. There's always somebody that'll help you. Someone to go running with or biking with or whatever.
So I've just said as a reflection on the year, I would say and years for me is that's one of the biggest things that the triathlon scene has probably done for me completely. So I know it sounds a bit...
Well, yeah, but
it's not goodbye. It's not the end.
No, it's not the end. It's just the end of that bit.
Yeah.
But you're still going to be riding your bike and still going to be swimming.
Yeah, it's time to get on my toes, boy.
That's it. So you'll be...
Start tickling my toes.
Oh, I can't do that.
You're going to have to. No choice.
Oh. I'll have to learn how to
become a swimmer.
I'll have to learn how to tumble turn.
But no, seriously, just,
Yeah.
So, that's
it's
our last podcast of the year.
Yeah, so it's a Merry Christmas, I suppose, and a Happy New Year.
And a Happy New Year. I would like to say thank you for everybody that watches. We've had some great feedback recently.
Yeah, we have. Yeah, thanks to everybody who's spoken to us and
left comments and just
told us that they've watched it and they enjoy it.
And how you are now a YouTube influencer.
I don't think I am really. I think that's a little. I did laugh at that when I was called a YouTube influencer. I don't think enough people watch this for me to really be an influencer.
But please share it.
It was quite funny to see that written down. But yeah.
So here's to 2024. Good luck to everybody. Thank you for watching. Merry Christmas.
Yeah, enjoy
Happy New Year, and
enjoy your training over Christmas. And
every mince pie is a burpee.
Oh, is it?
Well,
I don't know.
At least 10.
All right. Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, see you in the gym.
Beefcake.
Cheesecake.